Good morning. Welcome everyone to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spokane, where our mission is to join together to create a nourishing, liberal religious home and to champion justice, diversity, and environmental stewardship in our wider world, or as we say in short, to create community, find meaning, and work for justice. I want to welcome everyone as always for all that you bring with you this morning, all of your unique beliefs, your background, your lifestyle, your experiences, your differences, your similarities. Everything that helps make you who you are is welcome here this morning, and this, as always, includes those of you in the room with us, as well as the many of you who are streaming with us and Zooming with us this morning. So welcome to one and all. I want to make just a couple of announcements before we greet one another. One, again, a reminder that next week we're having a fall harvest dessert potluck following our second service on Sunday on the 23rd. So if you like to come to the first service, you can do that and always come back and have dessert later. Or you can come to the second service. So far, we've not been able to digitize desserts and send them out to our friends who are streaming and Zooming with us, so we apologize about that, but please have something sweet at the same time in solidarity with our need for a sugar fix. And actually, you can bring a sack lunch as well if you'd like to enjoy that. Also want to put in a plug for next week's program. I'm going to be out the next 2 Sundays. And our guest speaker is going to be Carmen Pacheco Jones, who will speak to us about bringing communities from crisis to thriving. And given that she spent her teenage years in the foster care system, and today is the founder and executive director of Health and Justice Recovery Alliance, is an equity strategist consultant for the Empire Health Foundation, a co-chair of the Washington Statewide Reentry Council, and the board vice president of Northwest Justice Project. I'm sure Carmen will have a lot of wisdom to share. Also, the following week, on the 30th, we're going to do something we do occasionally, and that is have 3 of our church members share their reasons for being here, why they are Unitarian Universalists. It's always just wonderful to hear the journeys that people have been on. So I really appreciate it if you will come and support not only these speakers and presenters, but also our guest speaker team that works diligently on our behalf to make sure we have excellent quality speakers in the pulpit at all times. So thanks to them as well. All right, now I would like to turn brief attention to our friends who are Zooming with us this morning. It's been great to have all of you with us and to be able to briefly interact during the morning service. So let's see, it looks like we have about, one of them is me, so 6 folks up there today. Would you like to say hello very briefly? Let us know who you are.
Sure, I'll jump in. I'm Terry Anderson, and I'm sure you've been seeing my mug up here most weeks. I live in Edmonton, and I'm really glad to be here this morning.
Thank you, Terry. Good to have you.
I'm Mary Bennett from Vancouver, BC, and I'm here for the puppets.
Wonderful. I didn't bring any puppets today, so sorry to disappoint you, Mary, but we're going to have an excellent storyteller, and I hope my sermon will be more than just out there today. So,
hello, I'm Stephen Palmer from Woodbridge, Connecticut, and I'm here to find out if indeed there is any intelligent life somewhere in the universe. I'm getting a little skeptical about it being here on Earth.
Thank you, Stephen.
Hi guys, it's Lynn Janishian, and I'm Zooming from Sandpoint at a little cafe. Good to see you all.
Hey Lynn, great to have you, as always.
And the other 2, I don't know, they might want to say hello, but they're Alexis and JP, and Tom and Melinda, both from Edmonton, so we have 5 people from Edmonton today, so we're the majority.
Yay, hey, you're taking over. That's great. That's great. We would love for you to. Well, good to have all of you for sure with us today. And I'm Todd Eckloff. I see that I'm also on there, or was on there, so it's hard being 2 places at once, but nice to be both on Zoom and in person today. I don't know how that works, but... Okay, let's take just a few moments to greet one another now. Then we'll move forward with our service. And by the way, I should say welcome to Dixie Marshall. How wonderful it is to have you back with us. It's always great. Thank you for filling in today. Yeah. We are now going to move forward with our service by lighting our chalice, the symbol of our unity and our solidarity, of our openness and our inclusion, of our community and our individual uniqueness. May this small flame be our offering of warmth to those who are cold and alone, and a light to those in darkness. May it be a flame that ignites justice in our world, and a beacon of hope to those in need, and may it reflect at least a spark of truth wherever truth has been lost, and cast a healthy shadow of doubt wherever it's been found.
The opening words are from Praising Jane Academy. Knowing the truth is not about finding it. To discover the truth, one has to recognize it. Recognizing truth requires realizing wisdom, which means a blend of experience, knowledge, and good judgment about a subject, and has utmost importance.
Our first in-service hymn this morning is number 301. It's in your hardback hymnals, but of course you can access the words up above on the screen. It's called Touch the Earth and Reach the Sky. Please rise as you're willing and able.
We'll now kindle our candles of care for those who are most on our hearts and minds this morning. And I did not receive any specific requests, but want to begin, as we have been for the past several months, by kindling a candle for the people of Ukraine and other parts of that region of the world who are experiencing the most devastating impacts of the war that's going on there. Let's take a moment of silence, as usual, in which you can name those you are thinking of aloud if you'd like. those named aloud and those embraced in our silence, and all those who are suffering in our world at this hour, we hold in our community with compassion. And before we move for our offering today, I'm going to fumble a little bit here because I want to make sure you have special collection envelopes. You have them ready? Oh, they were handed out. Thank you. All right, just making sure. Because we have a very special collection this morning. This month's special collection is going to go to the Carl Maxey Center, which was founded by the late Sandy Williams, who, as you know, was killed recently along with 9 other people in a tragic plane crash. When Sandy first began dreaming of the center, she came to us for help, and we helped her raise thousands of dollars to make her dream for our community become a reality. The mission of the Carl Maxey Center is to inspire, empower, uplift, and advocate for Spokane's Black community. Its vision is to be a model for building generational wealth, educational excellence, justice, and cultural vibrancy. So it seems only fitting now that we should honor her work and her memory by helping again to sustain this important part of Sandy's legacy. So if this special offering is meaningful to you and you would like to contribute today, you can put your offering in the envelope that was handed to you. No need to seal it. We'll recycle it and reuse it another time. And of course, those of you who are streaming or Zooming are welcome to go online and do so at any time as well. So thank you so much for your generosity as we now give and receive this morning's offering, which helps sustain this community and our mission to the larger world.
Dapples and grays, pintos and bays, all the pretty little horses. Hush-a-bye, don't you cry, go to sleep, you little baby.
That was beautiful, beautiful. Good morning. No children, so you may sit where you are. I didn't bring a puppet because that puppet is, well, not quite well behaved. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about my experience of having a dialogue with wild turkeys near my home. But first, some interesting facts that I've learned about these birds. According to scientists, wild turkeys have a reputation of sensitive, intelligent, and, can you imagine, very social birds. Just like we humans, turkeys can talk, and they have 28 distinctive calls, including a purring-like sound to keep in touch with the other turkeys. I bet you have heard the turkey gobble, right? Only male turkeys make this loud, rapid, gurgling sound. I have learned that adult male turkeys are called toms, and females are called hens. When their mating season is over, turkeys of feather flock together. Unlike toms, hens look plain, not remarkable in appearance. A male turkey, however, is recognized by a so-called snood. It's a reddish, fleshy bit hanging off its beak. When a male turkey is relaxed, his snood is short, about half an inch. But if the bird feels threatened or angry, the snood fills up with blood and extends, hanging down like a long, reddish noodle. One day when I was driving along the street, I saw a small flock of turkeys on my right. They were picking something near the curb. One of them, evidently the leader, Tom, began to cross the street. Therefore, I slowed down to a complete stop. Thankfully, there were no cars behind me. I expected the other turkeys would follow the leader. However, they did not. Then I saw the bigger turkey change its direction. The bird turned around and started walking towards my car. A long snood was hanging down over its beak. I knew it was a male turkey, but I didn't pay much attention to the warning signs. Not just the length of the snood, but its fiery red color. Then I heard his loud sound. "Gurgle, gurgle, 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 get out of here," said the bird, coming very close, almost touching the hood of my car. I rolled down the window and asked the bird, "What is wrong? Look, I am waiting until you cross the street." Continuing to gobble, the turkey walked up straight to the driver's side, looked at the opening of the car window. "Gurgle, gurgle, 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 I told you to go away," said the turkey. I had a feeling the turkey was measuring the distance to the window for his attack. "How can I move when you are so close?" said I, but began to drive slowly. The turkey was following my car, continued gobbling non-stop. "Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle, get out of here, get out of here." I was puzzled. Why was the turkey angry with me? I did nothing wrong. Was it that the yellow color of my car looked very threatening to the bird and the turkey was planning a preemptive attack? I had no idea. You can tell my communication with the bird wasn't very successful. Was it because we spoke different languages? I don't know Turkish, I mean the bird's language. Then why? Even if we speak the same language, we have problems understanding each other. Do you know why?
The meditation comes from Jack Cornfield. Buddhist monks begin each day with a chant of gratitude for the blessings of their life. Native American elders begin each ceremony with grateful prayers to Mother Earth and Father Sky, to the four directions, to the animal, plant, and mineral brothers and sisters who share our earth and support our life. In Tibet, the monks and nuns even offer prayers of gratitude for the suffering they have been given. You are invited to reflect on all the people and things you are grateful for.
In 1994, astronomer Carl Sagan famously wrote about a 1990 photograph of the Earth taken by the Voyager space probe when it was 4 billion miles away. Here's a small portion of what he had to say. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam.
Well, in great contrast to our alien theme today, Susan Bachmeyer and I are singing, this is the second Peter, Paul, and Mary song. We're going to sing Bamboo. Okay.
You take a stick of bamboo, you take a stick of bamboo and throw it in the water. You take a stick of across the river, my home's across the river, my home's across the water. River, my home's across the water. Oh, 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 no. River, river, she come down. River, river, she come down. Take a stick of bamboo, you take a stick of bamboo, you take a stick of bamboo, you throw it in the water. Water, 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 water.
Thank you both so much. And Luba, thank you for your children's story. Beautiful. I like talking to turkeys too. Yeah. And crows and anybody else who will listen. So the vastness of the universe is not possible for us to fully appreciate or even imagine. Each of us is about 1 billion times bigger than an atom, which makes us sound huge. But the earth we're on is 1 billion times bigger than each one of us. And big as that seems, it would take nearly 1.4 million Earths to fill the star we call our sun. On a clear night, we can see about 8,000 other stars, those that are closest to us, only those that are closest to us, amounting to only 0.000000004% of the estimated 200 billion stars in our relatively small galaxy. But even those closest to us are so far away that we are seeing them as they were before we were even born. Look up at the Big Dipper today and you will see light that took as much as 150 years to reach your retina. Traveling at the speed of light, 180,000 miles per second, it would take about 100,000 years to cross the Milky Way galaxy that's containing all those stars, which is relatively small compared to other galaxies. It would take 220,000 years to cross Andromeda, for instance, our nearest galactic neighbor, so long as you don't mind the additional 2.5 million year trip traveling at light speed to get there. That's our closest neighbor. In the minuscule galactic neighborhood both the Milky Way and Andromeda are in, along with about 100,000 other galaxies, is named Laniakea, home to 100 million billion stars. Yet Laniakea, the Hawaiian word for immeasurable heaven, is only a supercluster of galaxies in the known universe. There are an estimated 10 million other superclusters, each containing hundreds of thousands of galaxies. Remember, our Earth is 1 billion times bigger than we are. We're 1 billion times bigger than an atom. We're pretty much not here. And the known universe refers only to that which we have been able to detect so far based upon the roughly 13.7 billion year background radiation left over from the start of the Big Bang. Since the radiation is in all directions around us, seemingly putting us at the center of the known universe, it would take twice that amount, right? 27.4 billion years to cross it, traveling at the speed of light. 27.4 billion years to cross the Milky Way, traveling at the speed of light. Or the known universe, I should say, traveling at the speed of light. 24 billion years. Do you know how long a billion seconds is? 31 years. We try to comprehend what a billion is like and then multiply that by 27, 28. And that of course is to say, to put it in perspective, if you had a vessel fast enough to cross the Earth's diameter 22 times before you can say 1001, it would still take you 27 billion years to cross the length of the known universe. Yet, as impossibly vast as that may sound, the known universe is to the entire universe less than what the size of a quantum particle is to us. To say the universe is very big, or even very, 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 very big, is a gross understatement. I could not get at its vastness by filling an entire page with varies, nor even an entire book, nor even an entire library of books filled with nothing but the word very over and over again. Not even all the books in all the libraries of the world, even if they were the only words ever written, would still underestimate the size of the universe. So large that even traveling at light speed takes eons just to get beyond our own galaxy. Given such incomprehensible vastness, the evidence of our own existence on Earth, and an understanding of mathematical probabilities, we cannot help but conclude there must be life, including intelligent life, elsewhere in the universe. It is even reasonable to conclude there is an abundance of life in the universe, so much, in fact, that statistically speaking, there are bound to be many planets and species similar to, if not exactly like our own. The closest Earth-like planet we know of is Proxima b, just outside our solar system, only 4.24 light years away. That's not far, if that is, you had a vessel that could travel 180,000 miles per second. It was only in 1995 that astronomers discovered the first such exoplanet, meaning a planet outside our solar system, which is named 51 Pegasi b. Its discoverers got a Nobel Prize in 2019 because their detection techniques have since been used to help us discover more than 4,000 other exoplanets, with thousands more now waiting to be confirmed. In his 2021 book, Extraterrestrial, the first sign of intelligent life beyond Earth, Harvard theoretical physicist Avi Loeb says, "The Milky Way hosts tens of billions of Earth-sized planets with surface temperatures similar to our own. Overall, about a quarter of our galaxy's 200 billion stars are orbited by planets that are habitable in the way the Earth is, with surface conditions that allow liquid water and the chemistry of life as we know it." 200 billion stars in our own galaxy. With an estimated 50 billion habitable planets in our small galaxy alone, we must conclude the entire universe is teeming with life, including beings as intelligent or even more intelligent than our own. As Loeb says, adding all other galaxies in the observable volume of the universe increases the number of habitable planets to a zeta. That's 10 followed by 21 zeros, a figure greater than the number of grains of sand on all the beaches of the earth. And that again is just the number of such planets in the known universe, which is itself but a grain of sand compared to the rest of the unknown universe. Perhaps the most astonishing claim in Loeb's book, however, is his explanation of an object observed moving across our solar system for about 3 weeks in October of 2017. Oumuamua is the Hawaiian name given to the object, which means a messenger from afar arriving first, or simply scout. In this case, Oumuamua, he says, is the first interstellar object we've ever encountered in our solar system. Interstellar means it originated outside our solar system. Loeb makes a convincing case that it is also the first proof of intelligent life in the universe. Despite the object being universally described as weird, mysterious, and strange, most scientists have used Occam's razor to dismiss it and its unprecedented anomalous qualities. At first, the detective story seemed like an open and shut case, Loeb says. The likeliest explanation for Oumuamua, that it was an interstellar comet or asteroid, was also the simplest, most familiar one. But as the fall of 2017 progressed, I, along with a significant portion of the international scientific community, found myself puzzling over the data. I, again, along with a significant portion of the international scientific community, couldn't make the evidence neatly fit the hypothesis that Oumuamua was an interstellar comet or asteroid. As all of us struggled to make the evidence fit that hypothesis, I began to formulate an alternate hypothesis to explain Oumuamua's multiplying peculiarities. That it's the first interstellar object observed in our solar system is its first peculiarity, and is what caused scientists and astronomers around the world to turn their telescopes on it for about 11 days before it disappeared again into interstellar space. This is what allowed us to gather all the data about it that helped us identify its other peculiarities. Take the way Oumuamua reflected sunlight, for example. The data proves this strange visitor had an extreme shape that was at least about 5 to 10 times longer than it was wide. Due to its relatively low temperature, as detected by infrared readings, Loeb says, we estimated its length at about 100 yards, or around the size of a football field, and its width as less than 10 yards. Although Oumuamua's actual width could be smaller, he says. These extraordinary dimensions make it what astrophysicists call an extreme object. So extreme, in fact, there has never been another object like it detected, including asteroids or comets. With a length of at least 5 to 10 times greater than its width, he says, allowed only 2 possible shapes. Our interstellar visitor was either elongated like a cigar or flat like a pancake. Another physicist mentioned in his book looked at the data and concluded the likelihood of Oumuamua being cigar-shaped was small, and the likelihood of Oumuamua being disc-shaped was about 91%. Though small, Oumuamua was also 10 times more reflective than typical asteroids and comets. When Oumuamua sped part of the way around the sun, its trajectory deviated from what was expected based on the sun's gravitational force alone. There was no obvious explanation for why, Loeb says. And it is this deviation in particular, that most convinces him it could not have been an asteroid or a comet, even one with many extreme qualities never experienced before. So cutting to the quick, what does he hypothesize this messenger from afar arriving first is? Based upon his explanation of the physics involved regarding all the data collected, and without going into his complicated physics, Loeb says, Oumuamua must have been designed, built, and launched by an extraterrestrial intelligence, possibly floating in interstellar space as debris from advanced technological equipment. From here, you'll have to read the book yourself to find out if Loeb's arguments and evidence are as convincing as I think they are. The point in all I've said so far is really meant to open us not merely to the possibility of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe, but to the almost certain likelihood of it. And if Loeb is right, to our own inevitable discovery and encounter of it. There are many forms of intelligent life on Earth. Almost every creature, including turkeys, demonstrates some intelligence. So to be clear, when I refer to intelligent life in the universe, I mean that which might be comparable to human intelligence or greater, with a strong degree of self-awareness and the ability to extend one's powers through the use of tools and technologies. There are likely to be beings in the universe that are far more intelligent than we are, especially if they have achieved the ability to travel meaningful distances across space. We have already established the universe is too vast for any species to travel through it, even at the speed of light, without taking eons to get anywhere. If there are intelligent beings in Andromeda, for example, our nearest galactic neighbor, who have developed vessels that can travel at 180,000 miles per second at light speed, it would still take them, again, 2.5 million years to get here. They could make it in less than 1.3 million years if they have figured out how to travel at double the speed of light, which might put them in the category of time travel at that point, which is still a very long time. My point is that achieving contact with such beings by moving through linear space still seems impossible. Not unless they dwell somewhere just beyond our own solar system, can travel at least the speed of light, and don't mind taking a few years to decades to get here. Space travel, if we can even call it that, across the universe, would require an understanding of quantum mechanics that allows them to get from place to place without moving through space. Perhaps through wormholes, folds in space-time, time travel, dematerializing machines that enable them to rematerialize anywhere by taking advantage of quantum entanglement, Einstein's spooky action at a distance. If there are species that can do so, they are far superior to us in intelligence and may consider us about as intelligent as we consider chimpanzees compared to ourselves, or about as smart as our domesticated dogs and cats. Then again, it could be that we could easily understand such technology if they could explain to us how it works, since we understand basic physics, which would still make us relatively equal in intelligence, give or take a few neurons and folds of the neocortex. But for now, let's just assume that the universe is littered with intelligent beings like us, or even smarter than us, but that we will never be able to make contact because meaningful space travel is impossible. If this is the case, is there anything we can know about them, anything we can conclude must be true about all intelligent beings? It would be impossible to know if all intelligent beings or species are religious, or at least have gone through religious phases of their development. If we have, certainly some of them have, even though Some may not have. But we can be sure that none of them ever heard of Christianity or Islam or Judaism or Buddhism or any of the other religions so many of us have been willing to kill and die for, or feel certain are the key to ultimate truth. There probably wouldn't be any Republican or Democrat aliens, even if some of them do engage in their own kinds of politics. We can't even know if intelligent beings or all intelligent beings have feelings. It's likely they all have bodies of some kind, but do not share the same primary emotions that we have evolved: joy, anger, sadness, fear, disgust, and surprise. Some probably do, but some may not. Some cold-blooded aliens, for example, may have developed large cerebral cortexes without ever having developed the mammalian limbic system. We can't be sure if they live in oceans or in atmospheres rather than on earth or land, or if they have arms or legs or even eyes and ears, or all, some, none of, or more than the senses that we have. If the universe is littered with intelligent beings, there are probably some like us and some too different for us to even imagine. But what we must share in common in order to be intelligent is an understanding of certain universal truths. All other intelligent beings that are at least as smart as us, hopefully smarter, and can extend or augment their abilities through the use of tools and technology, must understand complex math, science, physics, logic, and probably music, even if the latter is experienced differently than ours, perhaps through touch or light fluctuations or elegant thoughts. Maybe some aliens smell music. However they experience it, given the relationship between math and music and the necessity of all intelligent beings to understand math, it seems likely music is also a near universal experience. The music of the spheres, as the ancient mathematician Pythagoras, who discovered octaves, called it. So that's about it. The only things we can assume we must share in common with other intelligent beings is our knowledge of mathematics, science, physics, logic, music, and the use of tools and technology born from that knowledge. It is not necessary that all intelligent beings are biological, although all probably began as such. Some species more advanced than our own, as we are on the trajectory to do, may have evolved into intelligent machines, and some may now even enjoy digital existences stored in quantum fields or in the fabric of space-time itself. Given where computer science is even now, these ideas are not far-fetched. But another thing we share in common with all intelligent beings in the universe, no matter how much more intelligent than us they might be, or how different, is that we are all from the same universe. Everything and every being that exists in the universe today comes from stardust originating during the Big Bang. Every being that is alive anywhere in the cosmos is related. We are all kin. No matter how different, how alien we might seem, we are all part of one cosmic family because we are all related. We all come from the same source and are made from the same stuff. It's even possible the DNA shared by all life on Earth originated elsewhere in the universe and arrived here, like all of our water did, on asteroids. This is an idea that is ancient, but is now being seriously entertained by some scientists. Directed panspermia is the name of this theory, which I won't go into, but it was first coined by Francis Crick, one of the discoverers of DNA, because it explains how the earth, which was uninhabitable for its first 3.8 billion years, was able to almost suddenly produce life just 200,000 years later. How could DNA have evolved so quickly to become life on a planet that was previously uninhabitable? Directed panspermia helps solve this riddle, and if true, would mean that our DNA may be exactly the same as the DNA of at least some other beings in the universe. And here's the real point of this. If we are but one intelligent species among many, at home, alone, on our very own pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan called it, our mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, how is it possible during our brief history together that we have drawn so many lines between ourselves over the slightest of differences? Language, tribe, nation, neighborhood, ideology, theology, gender, pigment, sexuality, class, politics, identity. How can these make us think we are so different from our brothers and sisters that we can hate, exploit, and kill them? The earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena, Sagan says. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in the glory of triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on a scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. There's a common theme in science fiction that if humanity were to be invaded by beings from another world, we would forget all these differences and finally band together to defeat our common enemy. Alas, I think this is the stuff of science fiction. Why would we expect a common enemy to bring us together when we already have so much else in common, including climate change, which has only become another dividing line between us? The solution, rather, is not creating a common enemy, which is the cause of dictators and despots who have for centuries used it to further divide us, but to better appreciate our common humanity. Not to find a common enemy, but to appreciate our common humanity. We must fulfill and further Dr. King's dream that one day little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls. Today, we must dream even bigger, to also include little gay boys and girls, little Russian and Ukrainian boys and girls, little wealthy and homeless boys and girls, little Texan and Mexican boys and girls, little liberal and conservative boys and girls, and so many others. If in this vast universe there is no such thing as an alien, because we are all related, all born and fashioned from the same stuff, how can we consider anyone on earth an alien, a foreigner, homeless? How can we exile and excommunicate each other because of our slightest differences? How can we erect ideological purity codes when, as Salman Rushdie says, we should rejoice in mongrelization and fear the absolutism of purity? How can we keep singing our national anthems and my country's 'tis of these, when we should be singing, come, come, whoever you are? This land is my land. This land is your land. This land is made for you and me. This world is my world. This world is your world. This world was made for you and me. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world, Sagan says. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we have ever known. Thank you.
We're going to sing number 134. For those of you that need your hymnals, it's the hardbound gray hymnal. And this is Our World is One World. Please stand as you're willing and able.
The teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your own mind. Khalil Gibran.
Sure.